Hi, I'm Stephanie,
And I'm Justy, and
and
together
together
we're
we're
losing
losing
it.
it. We've each lost over 100 pounds with the help of diet, exercise, and breaking bad habits. And I also had weight loss surgery in 2020.
And I recently had skin removal surgery.
We're just sharing our journey and what we've learned throughout the process.
And we're not doctors, so if you have any medical questions, reach out to your doctor.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. Today, we decided we wanted to talk about kind of a Q&A, question and answer for questions that we get in our DM or just on questions and comments that we get on posts and stuff on Instagram. There are a lot of questions that revolve around Justy's skin removal surgery, even though I feel like we've been pretty thorough, or you've been pretty thorough with posting and answering.
Right.
And so now us doing this Q&A will give us a resource to send people back to when we get the same questions again, because we do get a lot of the same questions. So we have a pretty decent list. So we're just going to get started, and I'm going to kick it over to Justy and let her talk about some of the questions that come up for skin removal surgery. The first one being, why did she choose Mexico? So Justy, go ahead and take that.
Yeah, so the reason that I chose Mexico, I actually had a couple of consultations in Florida and I just didn't feel like they got it. I didn't need tits and ass. I needed reconstructive surgery, right? So then I found Dr. Galvez. I think Steph actually put me onto him through Instagram. Started following him. This was during like COVID, so it was really weird. And then I was just like, you know what? This is the right guy for me. I just felt it. And so I actually canceled my surgery that I had booked with another surgeon in Florida and waited for, Dr. Galvez. And it was the absolute right choice. I didn't care that he was in Mexico. I just wanted him to do the surgery because he does look at it as reconstructive surgery, which it is. And he was able to do all the procedures at once. And a bonus on top of that, it was about $10 to $12,000 less. So the next
And
question that I get,
that's all he does, right? He doesn't do,
yeah,
I've never seen, he's not a tits and ass guy. All he does is reconstructive
no,
and weight loss, not necessarily just weight loss surgery, but weight
right,
loss in general. So it's kind of like, I'm going to take my car to a tire shop for tires, not to like, somebody who
get the
does
oil change,
everything. Right, exactly. So same thing. Like you
right.
want to go to someone who does all of that. So, and yeah, and his bedside manner was great. So, but
Oh yeah, and he's good looking.
and he's yeah, easy
Well,
on the eyes. That helps.
Dr. Sanchez are both, and the anesthesiologist. So there's that.
Right.
But they also do bariatric surgery there now. It's something that they started about a year ago, and they're really ramping that part of their business up as well. So they're amazing plastics. The next question that I get is, what surgery did you have? So I had a lot at once. I had a full 360 tummy tuck, which is all the way around my my like panty line, I guess. And down there they did a Mons lift, so they lifted the kitty cat, and then I had muscle repair as well. I had an FDL, which goes up your stomach, like up through your belly button, and then I had a reverse tummy tuck that is your bra line. I had a brassiere torsioplasty that takes that all the way around the back. I had extended arm lift that goes from your elbow to your armpit and then down the side. And then I also had, listen, some of that good fat, I had that transferred to my butt. So I was like, why not? That was a add-on shit. It's good fat. It's been sticking around for a while. Why don't we stick it where we want it?
Right. Right.
So yeah. And so my total was without flights or any aftercare, anything like that, just the surgery, the hospital, the recovery, which included food and all that fun stuff, was about $21,000. I ended up spending total with flights. I'll talk about in a minute. I did have to go back to have a little bit of a revision. I probably spent about 24,000 total, is what I'm thinking. Steph went with me, so that included paying for her flight, paying for my flight, any of our travel stuff, aftercare, and then I did have to fly back. So that's how much it was. Complication. So I did have some spitting stitches on the side. So my hip. So basically my body kind of rejected the internal stitches in some areas, and it's the areas where they have to put like a thicker suture. And so my body just like spit them out basically and caused me to have some holes. So with that holes becomes this like white tissue. So I could have spent months in aftercare here and spend a lot of money, or I could just fly back and they scrape that stuff out and stitch me back up and I'm perfectly fine. So it cost me about $600 for my flight. They didn't charge me to do they just charged me for the anesthesia, the shots that they had to give, like the local anesthetic. And I paid for my hotel night to stay the night there. So that was about, $600 to $800 more than I had anticipated, but man, it was way worth me going back and just getting it done.
Yeah, because you had like an
I
instant
actually
recovery after that, right?
Oh yeah, it was like instant. And I joined like a Facebook plastic surgery support group, like complication support group. And let me tell you, my little tiny dime size holes were nothing compared to what some of these women had. Which kind of leads into the next question. Like, was I scared? I wasn't, until I started looking at people's big complications. And now I'm like scared of round 2. So I wasn't scared of round 1, but now I'm scared of round 2 because I've seen all these pictures of what could happen. But I'm also pretty confident in my body and my health and my strength. And I know how I healed from a lot of surgery, and my round 2 isn't going to be as much. And I know that I need to not be as much of a superwoman and maybe take it easy like everybody tells me to. So there's that.
We were double triple teaming you with that.
I know, it was like everybody, but I'm really stubborn and I don't listen. So and then the last question that I put recently on Instagram that I'm going to be having thigh surgery in January. So I'm going to get my thighs done for sure. All the skin removed from there. But a lot of people have been like, why are you having this surgery? Your thighs look fine. They look fine, but there's a lot of skin there. And I've showed it on Instagram as well. It's for me, I just really want my bottom to match my top. I want aesthetically to look better. And I just want all of that gone. It hangs, it just gets in the way. It just gets in the way of things. And it's what I want. So that's kind of, I've already decided, and it's what I want to do. I haven't decided on my boobs. So it's going to be $8,000 for my legs. And it'll be another $4,000 if I want my breasts done. If they do my breasts, they're just going to lift and fat transfer from my thighs. I don't want implants. I know that for sure. And to be honest, like, I don't even know if I want my breasts done because they're 46-year-old boobs. The reason I've done the other skin is because that's abnormal to me, and that needs reconstruction. My boobs are just boobs, like they're normal boobs. So I haven't decided. I'm kind of on the fence with that. So those are all the questions that I get from my skin removal surgery. And then I know, Steph, you get some questions from your weight loss surgery as well.
Yeah, and I think, which I didn't add to the list, but one of the things I'll just piggyback off of yours is, do I plan on having skin removal surgery? And God, Justy and I have gone round and round talking about it. And I actually was just talking about it to someone the other day. And it's like, I want to, but again, like the complications and the recovery time and all of that, it's like, oh God, I want to, when I see myself and I see the excess skin, I'm like, yes. But then I think about how much money it costs. I'm like, that could be a couple of vacations. I go back and forth. So I'm still on the fence. I think I might do it. I think I'm leaning more towards doing it than not doing it. We'll put it that way. But I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And for those people who think that I have not had skin removal surgery, I certainly have. I've gotten some comments about that. I just hide mine really well in my abdomen. High-waisted leggings take care of that. It's my arms. I have a lot of skin here, my arms and my legs, that have it the most. So I certainly do have it. It's there. But it's just,
and for me, it was never a question. Like, I knew I was doing it. Like, there was no question. Like, I knew I was doing it. And I told Steph this before, but it is the absolute best thing I have ever done for myself. It is the best money I have ever spent. Maybe well, no, it's better than my trip to Africa. Like, I would give up that to go to have this done again. It's given me confidence. I walk different. I feel different. I finally feel like I'm myself. And that is absolutely priceless. So anybody who's thinking about it, I'm on side yes.
And that's how I feel about my having weight loss surgery. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself. Same thing, just a higher confidence. I have the loose skin, but it doesn't really hold me back. Would it be great to not have it there? Yeah, it does, but it doesn't hold me back from doing what I want to do. The only thing it holds me back from is buying a size medium t-shirt because it sucks on my arms. It fits everywhere else, but it does not fit my arms. So that's the problem I run into. But as far as my weight loss surgery goes, hands down, best thing I've ever done for myself. I feel very fortunate because my complications were nothing compared to what I've seen other people, same as you've said. My complication came from anesthesia. I've always had a little bit of trouble with anesthesia. So this was no surprise. And I also had sleep apnea and didn't know it. We didn't know it until they never tested me. They just asked me, had I ever been told that I stop breathing when I'm sleeping. I said no, because nobody has told me that. So they asked me a bunch of questions. So they didn't test me. Well, here I did have it and I never knew it. So then when I went in for the surgery, the anesthesiologist, I guess, had some trouble keeping me regulated. So I guess they had to pump like some extra into me, and I already had problems with it. So I was very nauseous for 2 days afterwards. And so when you've just had your stomach cut and you're, vomiting, it's it's difficult. It's very difficult. So it was, hugging pillows. And I had my surgery in 2020, so no one was allowed in the hospital with me anyway. I got dropped off, I went by myself, and then I got picked up. So I did stay an extra night because of that. But I had told my husband, you're better off had not been there as much as you wanted to be, because you would have watched me sleep and throw up. The end. So that's it for my complications. But afterwards, I didn't have any aversions to food, nothing like that. So my complication is minimal compared to some things that I see other people go through. And then the other question that I get is, because I'm a chef, is around how I cook. Have I changed the way that I cook or the things that I cook? And the answer is not really. And Justy and I will probably get into more of this later down the road, but while she hasn't had skin removal, weight loss surgery, and I have, we still eat a lot the same. So I wouldn't say that I changed the way I eat. I changed the portions that I eat. I still eat the same things that I like to eat. I might try to make things a little bit more berry friendly, because I can't tolerate as much bread. So if I have a burger, I'm eating like the bottom bun with the burger or no bun with the burger, but I still cook the same way. I haven't like really changed ingredients or anything. It's just as if I was, as if I was Justy. We'll call it that. Just portion sizes are different. So that's it as far as me for cooking. And then that's going to kick over to Mounjaro, because those are our three big things that I think people are interested in with us: is Justy skin removal, my weight loss surgery, and then Mounjaro, because of course weight loss meds are all the buzz. And so I guess the first one, I'll just continue, Justy, since the first one there is, why would I have weight loss surgery and take Mounjaro? And so the question to that is, I knew having weight loss surgery, especially VSG, you don't lose, they tell you up front, you're not going to lose all of your weight. You're just not. Your body, especially at your age, isn't going to go all the way back as far as you want it to go. I could have had, if I did gastric bypass, I probably would have lost more weight. There's more weight to be lost with gastric bypass, but I didn't want my organs rearranged. I just wanted my stomach cut and call it a day. So I knew that there was a chance I would not hit like goal weight or get down to the weight that I want to be down to, or that, the doctor recommends that I be down to. And so when I went back to my doctor and he recommended it, they recommend it as an adjunct treatment, as another tool. So that just like the sleeve is a tool for me, I still have to be aware of the food that I put in my mouth. I still have to exercise regularly. I still have to get my water. I still have to get my sleep. All the 4 pillars of weight loss, I still have to do all of that. But having surgery and then the adjunct treatment of having the Mounjaro is what helps me to stay in line with those goals. So they're just 2 tools that I added to get me to where I needed to be, which I did. And then as far as doses, I started at 2.5. I did that for a month. I went to 5 milligrams. I did that for a couple of months, and then I went to 7.5 milligrams, which I did for like 2 months. And then I hit my goal weight and I came back down to 5 milligrams, but I take it every 10 days now because I continue to lose weight and I don't want to be below 150. That's just, I think it's too small for me. So I've kind of altered mine a bit and I'm probably going to come off of it soon. So Justy, I'll let you then talk about your dose and your plan.
Yeah, so I've been taking it for 7 weeks now, I guess. So I started out 2.5. I'm at 5 now. I have another month of it and a month and a half, I guess. And I probably don't plan on taking it anymore because the availability of it, I was just curious for the most part to see. I only had not like 20 pounds to lose to hit my goal. I've lost 12 or 13 of it. But I'm losing weight at the same rate with Mounjaro that I did on my own before my surgery when I was being super, super diligent. So it's just easier. I don't have to think about it as much. And so that's nice. I can see where it's definitely something that will help a lot of people. But for me, it's not worth it to go through the stress of getting it and being able to get it and paying for it and insurance and coupon and all this stuff. I'll just continue to do what I've been doing for the last, several years to maintain my weight loss. My side effects for it are nausea. That hasn't really gone away. I'm nauseous probably the first 3 to 4 days after taking it. And sometimes even the whole week. And then constipation, which I also have suffered from before Mounjaro. So this isn't helping the situation at all. And for me, it's just that nausea, it's not worth it because I just don't feel like myself. I don't feel like I feel good. And before my my skin removal surgery, eating the way I was eating and working out the way I was working, I felt great. And so I want to feel great. And this is the only difference is that. So yeah, I'm going to continue taking it for the next like 6 weeks, and then I'm going to go off of it.
Yeah, and my complications from the beginning was headache. I had a headache, constipation, which same as Justy, I had a little bit of that before anyway, but I've gotten that under control. But it was the worst for me was the headache because it was like the first day, the second day, and then it would start to ease up after that. But headache, and then the only nausea that I get, and it's me doing it to myself, is if I have something that is higher in like a sugar carb or not a complex carb, but like a simple carb. So if I eat something, let's just say I have a couple of chocolate chip cookies, I'll be like, I shouldn't have done that because I'll start to feel nauseous. And especially if I take a drink within like an hour or so of that, if I don't know how it works, but something about sipping on something after having had sugar, it makes me really nauseous. And sometimes I have to like lay down and I'm like, well, probably shouldn't have had those cookies then. So it's like, that's
Right.
the only, but I don't have like a normal nausea. It's
Well,
only associated with sugar.
and I have nausea like pretty much all day, just like slight. And I just don't like that feeling. But also something that was interesting is I said that it is easier. It cuts off the chatter for sure. I don't have the cravings. I don't even think about food. But the problem with me in particular in my journey is I've worked really hard to listen to my body. I don't count calories. I eat when I'm hungry. I don't eat until I'm full. Some days that's more food than others. I don't reward myself with, now you can eat this many points because you worked out. I just think all of that's a big bag of badness. So it cut off my hunger cues. And so I literally, with my busy lifestyle, I literally sometimes just don't even eat until 1 or 2 o'clock. And that's just not healthy for me.
Right.
My has been a little bit less and I just don't have those hunger cues. And for me, I think that's more important than losing weight.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because they say you're supposed to lose it like you're going to live it. So it's kind of like, yeah, this is helpful. It's a tool. It's going to get us, to where we want to be. And then we can you know, hopefully maintain from there. But like you said, we're not able to continue working on those healthy habits that you had that got you this far in the first place. So we're both kind of in the same boat with
And
that.
I
I
think
feel
for
like I've
people,
good.
yeah, for people who have a lot more weight to lose than we currently do, I could see where it'd be a game changer, right?
Mhm.
So the benefits of losing 40 or 50 pounds outweighs a little nausea and constipation. For me, I only have like 12 pounds to lose. I've already lost 130. I'm sure I can do this, right? And but again, if for somebody who has like a lot of weight to lose and the side effects are worth it, um, and you might not have side effects. I think it's a
Right.
game changer. It's great. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. That moves into the next question of what was our highest weight. And so for me, the highest I saw on the scale was 311. I'm 5'4", so I'm a little on the shorter side. But I never weighed myself again after that because I was kind of disgusted with it. So, you know, it's that moment of shame when you see the highest number for the first time and then you avoid the scale. So I'm quite sure it was higher, but that's the last number that I saw on the scale.
And I my same story. So I think I remember this number 318 for some reason. I know that I gained, and I'm almost 5'10". So I'm a little on the taller side. And I know for sure I gained weight after that. I think probably 20 pounds. And but just for reference, I was a size 24 pants, and I was a 2X tight. 3X was a little bit loose on me. So, and I wear like a size 11 shoe. Funny enough, I wear a size 10 shoe now, but I was an 11 that was tight and now I'm a 10. So, that's just kind of an idea. And now I'm a size, well, it depends. I would say I'm about a good solid 12, 10 to 12 now, with, a medium to large, top.
Yeah, and so for reference there as well, so same thing, yeah, who knows if I was past 311 or not, probably so, and I would say the same thing, another maybe 10 pounds or so. Um, I was 24, 22, 24 bottom, 24, 26 top. And again, that's because my arms, there was a lot of tops that I could fit. My arms have always just been the biggest part of my top. Shirts might fit, but the sleeve wouldn't fit, depending if it was stretchy or not. And then the bottoms were pretty much 22, 24. I was a 2X, occasional 3X, and depending on what it was, I like my old chef coat was a 4X because I had to wear a men's chef coat and I had to get it around my hips, and my hips were my biggest area. So, and I am now a good like 8 to 10, or a pretty solid medium. I don't think I'm a large in anything anymore. Um, Nothing I can think of that I have really that I am a large in anymore. But yeah, 8 to 10. And again, it just depends on the brand and exactly what it is that you're looking for. So
I went shopping one day and I bought a size 8 pants that fit perfect, and I bought a 14 that fit perfect. And so I'm like,
crazy.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. And the last time I weighed, I'm 186 now. So 6 pounds away from my goal. And so whatever that math is, I don't
The
know.
last time I weighed was 151. And I've been gone for a couple weeks and my scale my scale is still in Charlotte, and so I'll be back there Wednesday, so I'm kind of curious to get on the scale because I have no idea where I'm at. I have no
Oh, wow.
idea, but I mean, everything fits the same. I feel good, so I'm just real curious after a couple of weeks of not there hasn't even been the temptation. I haven't even been able to like, well, I should get on it. So it's been like a stressful yet welcoming change to not weigh myself for a couple weeks, but we'll see. I was 151, so I don't know where I'm gonna land come Wednesday. Well, I probably wouldn't wait Wednesday because I'll be flying and landing that night. So Thursday, I'll check it.
And I did the quick math, and if I could take my 318, which is the highest that I know I weighed, that's 132 pounds lost. Again, I think I probably gained another 15 or 20 pounds after that weight. So that's pretty crazy when you think about it. Like, it's a whole small human.
Yeah, I mean the same. Mine, I've more than half of my weight. So 311 being my highest, and then 150. So it's like 150, 161,
Yeah.
161 pounds. That's insane. That's a whole person.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
me. Again, like that'd be putting two of me together. I'm like, that is absolutely absurd. But
And it was
It blows
funny.
my mind.
I was carrying something upstairs and it was about 65 pounds. And I was like, God damn, this is heavy. Like I was struggling and I was like, I had 2 times that on my body.
Right.
It's just crazy how like, and now that I've had skin removal surgery and I can see my actual body, like I have like muscles,
Mhm.
like big muscles and things. And I'm like, wow, like of course I do, because I had to carry all that shit around for so long.
Exactly. Yeah, no shit. You were carrying a whole nother
Mhm.
person on your back. So yeah.
So our next question is about supplements. I only take a multivitamin because I'm not good with routines. So I only take a multivitamin and that's about it.
Yeah, and as a weight loss surgery patient, you take vitamin for the rest of your life just because of the smaller portions of food you need to be able to get your vitamins in. And so I take from ProCare Health, I take their one a day vitamin with iron. So I take that from them. I also take biotin from them, and I take their chocolate calcium, one chocolate calcium a day. It's the most delicious way to get your calcium in, to eat a little chocolate bar.
Uh-huh.
And then I do take collagen, uh, and I get that from Motivate.
Which I
And
want to
so
try.
yeah, so I take the collagen and the biotin because I did a lot. I guess that could be a complication of weight loss surgery. I did have a lot of hair loss. My hair was already, you can see, my hair was already thin. Um, anyhow, and losing hair after weight loss surgery certainly did not help that. So it just got a little bit thinner, but I take that to just, and I have regrowth coming in since I started taking the collagen and biotin within the last probably 4 months or so. And so I get these little spiky pieces because the hair is growing back. And so now it's just, they're just short little spiky pieces. It's pretty funny. But that's all that I take as far as, and I don't take any medication, and neither does Justy. We don't have blood pressure medication, anything like that. All I take is allergy. I take an allergy pill every day. Just today, allergies are sky high level around here. So it kind of sucks. But so an allergy pill and then no supplements, and that's it for me. And then Jesse, the next question, since you had surgery, I'm going to let you kind of take this one and I may chime in, but we had gotten a question about how do we know that it's loose skin versus fat? Like how do you know when it's like kind of when it's time, if you're planning on having skin removal surgery, that you've gotten to the point that you need to get to? So I'll let you take that, Jesse.
Yeah, so I was gonna have skin removal surgery about 40 pounds ago before. I was about 235, 240, and I was gonna have it. I had a lot of loose skin, but I had a lot of fat with that skin. And really you can just tell like the thickness of it, like the loose skin, it just hangs more. It's a little bit crepey instead of full. And it's thicker if you have fat on it. Now you can have skin removal surgery if you're under with Dr. Galvez, with if you're under a 30, I think it's a 35 BMI. I was right around 29 or 30 when I had my surgery. So I was on the low end of what he typically does. But he also said that you'll heal better. The fact that I didn't have weight loss surgery also helped me with my healing. He said your fat is just different, different nutrients, that sort of thing. And then I had a low BMI. So when you have it, when you haven't lost a lot of the weight, where your skin is still somewhat full, you also have the chance of losing more weight and then it being loose again. So I'm really glad that COVID happened because it pushed my surgery, and I was just like, okay, let me do this, and get this other like 35, 40 pounds off. But yeah, it's just like a feeling of emptiness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and like I think when you pinch it, it pinches easier versus grabbing like a big handful. And it's like for me, I notice a big difference when I lay on my side because
It falls.
my exactly, my hip bones are very prominent. They just stick right out. And when I turn to the side, it's like I have a whole like couple couple of folds and layers that just all go with it. So it's almost like you can just tell the way your body moves, and how the skin moves with it versus fat just kind of like sits there. So
Mhm.
but also I'm gonna skip, I'm going out of order a little bit, Justy.
Okay.
Um because then one of the questions we get is what scale do we use? Because we post, screenshots from the app of that. We use the Renfo scale, which Justy also recommended the Renfo tape measure. And I just got one. I haven't done my measurements with it yet, but I'm going to probably do that later today. But yeah, we use the Renfo scale, which tells you how much fat that you're carrying in your skin and whatnot based off of this smart scale. Don't ask me how it works. I don't know. You Google it. But yeah, and that's another way to tell where you're kind of like your loose skin versus fat too. Fat amount of fat in the skin.
And like that scale, it's so crazy because you can track it. Like I got mine in February of 2000, I think. And so it's like a few years of data, and like my BMI was 10 points higher and my fat was in the 40s. Now it's like 30 point something.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's really nice to just be able to see like, okay, like I'm doing other things in my body than just losing weight.
Right. Yeah. It's that I absolutely love that scale. And Justy and I experimented. I got on hers, she got on mine. We're like, does it tell the same story? Still tells me that I'm 48 and I want to punch it in the face for that, but whatever.
Right.
So then I'm going to backtrack to what food tracker do you use? Justy does not track food. I don't track religiously, but when I do, I use Berrytastic. That is what I used from day one. It is a bariatric food tracking app, but funny thing is, some of my non-bariatric friends have used it just because it collects great data. You can scan food into it and whatnot. So if you're looking to track macros of any sort, it is a great app for that. But yeah, Berrytastic is what I use when I do track food. I have not tracked lately though. And I'm not sure if I'm going to. We'll see what happens with the scale when I get back, because I kind of just want to live and not have to track everything. And I more so look at protein right now. Like I know how much protein is in something, and so I keep count of protein in my head throughout the day with what I eat. So I'm hoping I don't have to go back to tracking, but if I do, I'll go back to Berrytastic. And then this question is going to be for Justy. So we've got just 3 more questions left, so we should be able to wrap this up quickly. How did you lose the weight on your own?
Slowly.
With
Like
lots of mistakes.
lots of ups and downs. I think the last few years I've really gotten into a groove because I gave up on all the bullshit dieting and restricting and that sort of thing. And just decided I was gonna just tackle one habit at a time and one urge at a time and give myself some grace and just slowly change my life. And so I know that sounds very general, but I plan my food in the morning. I stick to my plan. I drink lots of water. I get pretty good sleep. I struggle with sleep, but I get pretty good sleep. I'm very protein forward when I eat. So kind of like Steph does as well. I'll eat my protein first. I listen to my body. I don't eat until I'm full. Once in a while, I'll get that full feeling. I'm like, damn, I ate too much. And I don't keep going then because I still have food on my plate.
Right. And what you mean by that, because I want to clarify, because I keep, at first it trips me up too, is you don't wait until you get full to eat. You stop before you're full. You eat until you're satisfied, like you feel good. Because not that she doesn't eat. Yeah, I just want to make sure that that's clear because it confuses me sometimes. I'm like, you don't eat until full. You don't eat until you're full. I get it now. So now you're saying you don't eat, you don't let yourself become full. You stop before you get full.
And
Right.
so how I figured that out is I would eat and then I'd feel like shit after I ate. And so I'm like, okay, that was too much. Next time I eat, I'm going to eat less. Okay, that was too much. Next time I eat, I'm going to eat less. So now I'm around about 1.5 cups of food. Gives me satisfaction. Like I'm not hungry anymore because I just put 1.5 cups of food in my body, but I don't feel full. I don't feel uncomfortable. My body's not saying, hey, bitch, you just ate too much. And I'm not,
Right.
And sometimes I will get a couple bites where I'm like, oh, I think I'm full. And I just stop then, even though I haven't finished my 1.5 cups. So there's no rules around it. It's really what my body's telling me. I eat slower now. I used to eat really, really fast. I sit down, I serve myself a small amount, never get seconds ever. Because unless my mom makes chicken and dumplings. And So there's just like little things that I've done over the years to like change my habits. I don't
And we
drink
don't
any.
really drink. Both of us don't really drink much anymore. I had one drink yesterday. I just
I
don't.
don't, yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't even, and because of that, I don't even, a lot of my life isn't planned around food when before it was like, oh, this happened, let's go eat. Oh, this happened, let's go eat. It's more about, just enjoying time with people, enjoying nature and that sort of thing. So it's just been a slow thing. People think they're going to lose 50 or 60 pounds in 5 months, and it literally is 5 years. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly.
Gain it in 5 months. You're not going to lose it in 5 months and sustain it. I was just determined to lose weight and sustain it. So, yeah, one thing at a time. And that kind of leads into the next question. I get a lot of like, where do you get your determination? Where do you get your motivation? I've always been that way. I get it from my dad. He was real stubborn. I was just, I know I'm really hard-headed. And so it's like so many people over the years have like told me that I can't do something. If somebody tells me that I can't, then I'm going to do it. And so I got to the point where I was telling myself I can't lose weight. And so then I got pissed off at myself, honestly. And so I was like, no, bitch, yes, you can. So you need to just start doing something different, because what you've been doing isn't working. I started listening to Corinne Crabtree's Losing 100 Pounds with Corinne podcast. And that really opened a lot of the things. If you ever listen to it, a lot of things that I'm saying is stuff that I've learned from her. And it's just about just like no bullshit, no excuses, like a lot of thought work, and that sort of thing. So that's kind of where that came from.
And I think also as you're seeing results, if you stick with it, and I know trust the process, all that, it's hard to like get in that groove. But if you stick with it and you see the results, that helps you to build that determination. Like, okay, this is doing things. Let me keep
Right.
with it. So I think that's helpful too.
Sticking with my
Um,
plan. When I go to bed at night and I stuck with my plan, I feel so good about myself. Way better than that piece of pizza would have made me feel like
right,
shit. So it's
exactly.
not worth it to me anymore.
Exactly. And the last question, we've got like 2 minutes left, but the last question is what do you eat to lose and maintain? And so like I said about cooking, we haven't really changed much. We just try to make a better choice. And so like if we're feeling like, if we want pasta, we're going to eat pasta. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe we just cut back on the pasta and up the protein, because like Justy said, we're both of us eat very protein forward. We know we can fill ourselves and sustain ourselves with protein, but I'm not going to not have pasta because carbs are scary. Like we're still going to eat it. We're still going to eat pizza, but we're going to have like one slice.
Yeah. And
So yeah,
people think, oh my God, that's like not enough food. Oh, trust me, it is. Like
right.
what I was eating at 300 pounds, I probably eat a third of easily, easily.
Yeah.
I remember eating 2 whole hamburgers and French fries. Like I could never do that
Right. Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
So it's just less amounts of it. Same stuff, just less amounts.
mhm. Yep,
Yep.
you don't have to cut out anything. So well, that is all of our questions that we get. I'm going to ask the famous question. What's next, Steph?
And I'm ready for this. I'm ready for it. So next we're going to talk about stalls and plateaus, because God knows we've both been there. And we do get some questions about that too. So I think it warrants just having its own podcast. So that'll be the next up.
Yep. All right.
All
Well, we'll
right.
talk next time. Bye.
Yep, sounds good. Bye.